We'll do an abbreviated live stream, but I'm not exactly sure if Bobby is going to be around. He said he was going to be late, but maybe he'll be around. Fire it up. And worst case, you got me. Okay. I'll go over some baseball. I'll also go over the whatchamacallit, baseball and the showdown. Oh, Bobby's there. Look at that. Champion.
right as it came through.
Got him.
All right.
Did you ever get your food, by the way, this morning?
Yeah, eventually. So, man, we got like a very, very small, not especially exciting slate. How are you? I guess I'm seeing how you're approaching it.
No, that's my FanDuel. I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm doing exactly what I said I was going to do in the live stream. Excuse me, the unlive stream with my big buy, and I'm playing Nola and Otto. That is my.
Oh, okay. Nice.
That is my pitching combination. I have 100 on DraftKings. I have 100% Nola, and then I'm split up evenly between Otto, McCullers, and Castillo for the pitching. And hitting, I'm actually I'm on Philly, and I am on Houston, and a little bit of Cincinnati.
Nice. I went on DraftKings with
and some Texas. Sorry,
yeah. Yeah, on DraftKings I went with Nola. I'm just playing Nola and Castillo. I don't care, because I'm playing the lowest probably owned first baseman there is. I'm playing a guy at second base who is projected to be about 2% owned. I'm playing an outfielder who's only going to be about 5% owned, and then I'm stacking Cincinnati other than those guys.
And there you have it.
I mean, look, man, you got to get. I did go with the 3-man Texas stack on DraftKings. On FanDuel, I'm going with a 4-man Baltimore stack. You got to try on these slates. And on DraftKings, Baltimore is going to have ownership because of the pricing. I'm not sure exactly how much, but they will have some. On FanDuel, while they'll have some, we have less games to choose from. And I want to play a couple guys who no one's going to play, Ryan McKenna being one of them, and Jamal Jones being the other one. Austin Hayes and Trey Mancini are also cheap. Ryan Mountcastle. I like that combination, and I am pairing it with Toronto on FanDuel.
Yeah, I got the other two. I have it's so funny. You mentioned like six Orioles, and I have the other two. I have Mullins and Martin.
Yeah, Mullins. I mean, I didn't think Mullins was going to be any non-chalk thing, and I think Martin. What's the argument for playing Martin? Try and justify that one for me. I'm trying to understand it.
No, nothing particular. It's just a little cute little 4-2-2 that he fits into because he's 2K flat on FanDuel.
Yeah, there's just other 2K guys that I mean, they're all 2K. They have 5 guys who are 2K.
Yeah, that's true.
So I just am going with the other ones because he's the only one who doesn't have any power.
Okay.
So I don't. I mean, I guess it makes some sense. He has no power or speed from anything we've seen so far. So that's my only reason why I was asking. And I guess you don't get the minimum cost guy who makes a lot of sense on DraftKings, but less sense on FanDuel. Well, no, doesn't play in the game on FanDuel, which is Barrera, who is the guy I would use at shortstop on DraftKings.
Well, let's change this. This is what we're going to do. So we're going to, instead of playing him at shortstop, who else could we play at shortstop that's any good? Oh, I know I got to play. Oh, this is easy. Oh, this is so easy.
Elvis.
Nah, I'm going to freaking Kiner Falefa.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
He's going to be the most popular shortstop.
Yeah, so I'm on FanDuel right now. So I got so my main, what you see, my main on FanDuel, I have 3 Phillies, three Texases, actually 4 Phillies, 3 Texases, and Cedric.
I like it. I just
So,
didn't get to the 4 Texas on FanDuel, but I got it on DraftKings. I looked at the ownership, and that was the only reason I changed my decision. But I like that.
you know. And then in the lotteries, I'm just basically all over the place. I have to make sure I got some of this. Got to make sure these guys from Toronto, Minnesota are playing. Oh, the Minnesota lineup's out, but not the Toronto one yet.
We don't have the Toronto lineup out yet, which is kind of crazy. These East Coast teams, man, I'll tell you what, we would lose our mind if these teams played on the West Coast. We would lose our mind. I mean, the Angels are bad. They're really bad. Don't get me wrong. They are the worst, but that's partly the worst because they play on the West Coast. With the East Coast teams, like every team is bad. Come on, man. The game starts in an hour, 40 minutes. You should have the lineup by then.
Yeah, hey, it's better than the NBA at least.
Well, yeah, I mean that's fair enough. But the NBA has at least tried to do things to correct it, like without sitting their player. You know what I mean? There's things like that they're doing.
Joel Embiid will be testing it out in warm-ups. I love that. That's my favorite.
I mean, but usually, you know what though, Sheets, I have to say, with all of that stuff and all the stress it brings us and everything, I think it's probably made us money in the long term rather than the other way around. I really do. We've speculated so many times when it's been right on things like that, and we've speculated some when it's been wrong. But I think when you get it right, like with an Embiid on a national TV, as he's questionable, and we're just like, look at his numbers on national TV. He literally averages 15 more fantasy points per game,
Right.
and he ends up 6% owned. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway.
What do you like in? Well, are you gonna do a live thing with Rhodey for football?
I am going to. Yeah, we're going to do a showdown, and then either tonight or tomorrow we're going to record a.
No, I mean for tonight, because what I'll do is I'll since I'm not going to be with you guys. If you
drop in your thoughts, drop in your football thoughts. What's
I'm going to tell you what I'm doing in the NFL. So I am I'm playing Christian McCaffrey. Yes, I'm playing Christian McCaffrey.
What do you think the
especially on PPR sites? I hear that that running backs that tend to catch footballs are good plays. So I'm going to be playing him, and the guys that I'm going to be really heavy on, aside from him and Darnold, who are going to be my 2 highest owned actually, are the following. The next highest owned is going to be Chris Conley. But I might bump up Anthony Miller. I think I really like Anthony Miller tonight. Maybe more than Chris Conley. I have them together in quite a number of lineups. But those are the 2. And then I also have a good amount of the Terrace Marshall that we talked about earlier as well. And those are the guys that I'm the heaviest on. You know what I mean? I have the good guys too. I have the other players. Like I have DJ Moore. I even have the kicker. I got Preston, whatever name is, Brown. You know who I don't have? Oh, I do. I'm very underweight on 2 guys. I'm very underweight. I think I'm underweight on Brandon Cooks. I only have 19% of him. And I'm underweight on Robbie Anderson. I have only 15% of him. So I guess that's where I'm that's where I'm somewhat different.
I'll take exactly the opposite approach than you then. I have the exact – I want to be really heavy on both those guys.
Oh, beautiful. There we go.
I have the exact – one of us –
hopefully somebody wins.
Somebody's going to win. Yeah, I actually like Cooks. I didn't end up getting to any Darnold actually so far.
Sweet.
I probably am going to try to get some of it. I think that honestly, you're lighting money on fire unless he gets injured. If you're not playing McCaffrey, you literally are lighting money on fire is my take. I don't know what kind of a game. I don't understand the kind of game where he can't put up enough points where he has to be on the winning lineup. And we have to remember that look at all your projections and everything, but the projected ownership for these showdowns are terrible. That nobody does a good job of it. Nobody's ever close.
It's funny that you mention it because that's what I even was addressing that in the Discord.
Yeah.
Adam was asking me, why don't you put even captain ownerships up? I'm like, to be perfectly honest, I almost don't even want to put up ownerships at all because all I'm doing is basically just judging what the industry is saying. And
Yeah,
the
exactly.
industry is so bad
Yep.
that I almost don't even want to put it up there. You know what I mean? So at the very least, I'm at least like not putting the captain's ownership because I honestly don't want to predict it myself. All I'm doing is just kind of reflecting the industry. But I'm trying my best to be as transparent as possible. I think these ownership projections are for shit. I mean, honestly.
Totally agree.
And so just like, by the way, just like using a median projection in a showdown is fairly useless as well. I mean, it gives you an idea of what, who's better than the other one, but
For basketball it matters, I think, but maybe not these football.
yeah. So I mean, McCaffrey is going to be, I would imagine, 90% owned right across the board. And
I'd be surprised if it's not higher than that, but yeah.
And in the captain, it's got to be 70, right?
I mean, you'd think, right? Like, it's hard to justify anyone else, so you're gonna have to try and find.
Well, you can, all right. So you can certainly make a case that that Darnold, for example, or like somebody like DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson could outscore, but they scored 2 touchdowns.
Yep, absolutely. I totally agree with that. That's why I think that you can try and get him out of your captain. I'm currently not doing that at the moment because I didn't find the need to, but that sort of puts me in with a lot of other people on some things. I need to find out for sure what I'm going to do with this running situation. I tend to want to be overweight on the lowest owned guy with the upside, the big upside play rather than the 2 old guys. So I'm going to be heaviest on Lindsey. And also, in blowout run, I think he would get some of that. I think they both would. I think David Johnson would as well. So those are the 2 guys. I'm going to be overweight on them, underweight on Ingram. Underweight on. I mean, people are really going to play Chuba Hubbard. Like, I don't know if they're really going to do that.
Who's this?
Chuba Hubbard, the backup running back for Carolina.
I don't even know who that is.
I don't think that it's I don't even understand how his rush prop is 15. Like, I don't know where.
Oh, there he is. I have a projection on him. Okay, I got something.
He did run the ball 8 times last week, but that was a weird game with the blood. He had no rush attempts in the first game. Like, I'm not doing it. He's the only backup running back I'm not looking. I mean, basically Cincinnati, Carolina, and Pittsburgh are the only teams you don't look at the backup running backs, in my opinion, on even showdown. There's just no work for them. Like, maybe they could win by enough. Maybe people are talking themselves into that where Chuba Hubbard comes in the game in the 4th quarter or something like that. Still, you're going to need to play him with McCaffrey. It's just really hard to not see the path for McCaffrey here.
What about other stuff like that? You know what I'm really underweight on is Panthers defense.
I'm high on the defense. I have 50% defense and 50% Zane Gonzalez.
We are. I'm telling you, one of us is going to be. Well, I'll put it this way: one of us is going to do a lot better than the other one, which is fine. As long as one of us does well. But if we both score like middling results, that's really bad.
Right. I hear you, Adam, with the Hubbard thing and the 5-1, but the reason why we're different is very simple. I'm hand building, trying to get as different as possible.
Yes.
You're building you're optimizing, and you're going. You know what I mean? So it makes sense why we are, but we're just picking different avenues of how to get
Absolutely.
there. Absolutely. If CMC gets 70% captain, I don't think that there's. I actually think that's really, really reasonable that he will be 70% captain, and I honestly think that that's probably about right. But you might want to. Yeah, there's ways to get away from it. You can leave money on the table as another thing. It's pretty easy to do. There's a million different routes, but I kind of like the idea of the McCaffrey Panthers D with the kicker, running it back with Mills, Cooks, and whether you want to play Miller or.
By the way, I am playing the other circus guy, the Andre Roberts.
Okay.
And it's a really bad play because the only reason he got any run last week was because what's his name was a healthy scratch, probably. Conley.
Yeah.
Not Conley. Miller. But who knows? He's 200.
He's a home run threat kind of a guy anyway from back in his Raider days. So he can always catch one pass down there.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, he could. That's it's on the table. But I think we mentioned low owned captains. maybe it's a weird spot where you take a shot on Terrence Marshall as a long shot captain. We mentioned the Carolina receivers Moore and Anderson, but Terrence Marshall is got an incredible amount of speed and athleticism. I mean, it's just you're talking about really two plays that could get you there and allow you to do something different with your build. And I think it's worth taking a shot with a bunch of lineups.
I'm going to try something. I wonder what my lineups would look like. I'm going to build, this is what I'm going to do. I can show you this. I'm going to build you guys 10 lineups, but Xing out McCaffrey in the captain. And we want to see what that would look like on DraftKings. Let me see.
Okay.
I presume, I'm going to guess that it's just going to go put Darnold in the captain. Right? Like that's what I'm going to guess. But wait, let me just see. Okay, so let's do this. And then we're going to put in the captain. We are going to X out McCaffrey. Well, this is really interesting, actually. See, to me, this is interesting. So what I did is when I X'd out McCaffrey from the captain and running 20 lineups, what was weird is that it actually spread out the captain ownership. You know what I mean? Like I was expecting that when I did that, like 100% of all these lineups would now end up with Darnold, but they only give him 35%. And well, there's Mills that makes sense, but they have Conley in the captain. That's an interesting idea. So let's say everyone have fun. So if you were going to build a McCaffrey not in the captain lineup, who would be the guy that's most negatively correlated with McCaffrey? Probably one of the wide receivers, probably either DJ Moore or Robbie Anderson, right?
DJ Moore. Yeah.
Or no?
Yeah.
Or you said Marshall too, right? One of them?
Yeah, one of any of the three receivers. That's what I would probably lean towards doing. I actually don't think it's the worst week in the world to try and captain the defense, though. It's certainly something that could pay off. I wouldn't captain the kicker, and it's expensive defense, but it's the more I look at the build, it's really I need to find a path of a game that I kind of that makes sense to me, and I just can't quite find it with the without the McCaffrey as the captain. I mean, I know I don't care. I can get a little bit weird if I play everybody else in the 15% range. And I'm like in the millionaire one, I will take some weird shots and take him out, but I'm just thinking about, I'm just playing 2 in the 222. And in those you can, if I get 3 of my other players are 10% and I leave 1,000 or 1,200 on the table, I could be unique enough to have a chance in that one at least. And I want to try to be, logical and effective, even though I'm also obviously would like to win the whole thing. It's hard when you're playing less lineups to try and just take a shot at going for the ultimate. Okay, well, I'll play the backup quarterback kind of a thing.
The Marcus Mariota special.
Exactly, and
that was
I'm
legendary.
actually wondering in my head, like, is that the right way to go tonight? Maybe because there is a path that Mills doesn't finish the game. On the Houston side, like if they really
backup?
Those 3 picks, what's that?
Who's the backup? Not Deshaun Watson, right?
Yeah, Deshaun Watson is backing up David Mills. LOL.
I don't think so.
I honestly don't know who they're down to as the backup right now because he is obviously the backup, Mills, and he was really would have been third string. I'm going to take a quick grab.
Maybe they could bring back Houston could bring back Dan Pastorini, maybe.
Bring back Matt Schaub. Matt Schaub, what happened? It happens like every year. These guys lead the league in passing one year, and the next year they like he went like 7 straight games with throwing a pick 6 or something crazy like that. Maybe it wasn't that many, but it was close to that. How is that even possible?
All right, you know what I did just for funsies? I did 10 lineups without McCaffrey in the captain to see what happens. I know what's going to happen. I'm going to lose $150. But.
Well, the thing is, like, look, man.
You never know.
You never know. It's always possible. Oh, my God.
It's baseball, so to speak.
So it's going back to baseball, though.
Yeah.
Siri is batting second tonight for Houston.
Is he still 2K?
I believe he's right around there.
Gotta be kidding me.
So I probably will have to try to avoid playing him on DraftKings. Yeah, I'll just avoid him, and I'll play him on FanDuel.
Yeah, they didn't put the lineups into the DraftKings app yet.
Yeah,
At least on my side.
Yeah, just came out.
Who's out then? Is McCormick out? No.
I haven't looked at the whole thing. Let me check one. Give me 1 second. Boy, I would like to play him. Maybe I am gonna have to play Richie Martin after all that. I want to get a little bit of this Siri thing, and I listen to these other guys. I'm sorry, guys. There's some guys in the industry. Some guys, look, if there's something I don't know that well, I'm gonna try to say it. But I cannot believe how intelligent guys, and I won't name him because I like him and we're friendly and we've always been good. We were going to do it. We've done shows together. We were going to do a whole side podcast thing a while back. But there's a certain guy who's known for knowing baseball who talks about this Siri like as if he's the worst player in history, and it's just simply not the case. He's really good, and they did the same thing with a guy named Fernando Tatis when he came out. Talked about how he was barely a major league quality player and stuff. And I never understood where that comes from. So don't trust everything you hear, I guess would be the moral of that story.
Now I got to think of who this is.
You can figure it out.
I'm sure I can figure it
out.
Siri is bad. All he does is hit home runs.
Very knowledgeable. Very nice guy. Very knowledgeable. But absolutely just completely dead wrong with certain takes. He said the same thing about Vlad too last year, I believe. He's like, yeah, probably more of like a flash in the pan kind of a guy. I'm just like, what is this guy talking about? And then he said it about Siri, and I think this guy Siri actually is talented too. So just don't trust what you hear.
Jeff Driscoll is the backup quarterback, apparently.
Jeff Driscoll
for Houston.
Oh, Driscoll, there you go.
That's what B for dude. If X B for X says it, it's got to be true.
So that's kind of interesting, though. It's kind of interesting.
What's the Drex?
If you're going to make 10 lineups with no McCaffrey, why not throw Driscoll like into one of those lineups?
Well, I don't have with no McCaffrey. I just don't have him captain.
Oh, okay. Well, no. Yeah, I guess that's.
I'm not a stone psycho. I mean, I might be. I could do fancy play syndrome, but.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen. I've seen McCaffrey limp off the field. I've seen it.
Yep. Hey, yeah, absolutely. And on a short week, maybe they do give Chuba a tiny bit of run. It's not like he's free either, you know.
I got to check out this. I hope they put this Houston lineup in the DraftKings apps. I have a bunch of these Houston guys that I'm feeling they're not all playing. Like I have McCormick. I have Jake Myers.
Mm-hmm.
Is Jake Myers the type of guy who wouldn't be playing because Siri's there?
I can tell you if I'll just look at the lineup real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually, but they can do a lot of things with Houston. They don't need to win any games, so.
I got to pull up Discord then if no one has it.
Let's see real quick. It is Altuve, Siri, Bregman, Tucker, Gurriel, Correa, McCormick, Myers, and Maldonado. So no, it's not them. It's
so no McCormick.
No Jordan Alvarez. No, McCormick's batting 7th.
Oh, so no Alvarez. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. The question is, did Donaldson? I think that is the right answer. Is Donaldson. And by the way, in case you guys didn't need to know this for tonight, I'm sure you guys already know this, but you really don't need to stack in baseball tonight to win. Not saying it's not going to win. There's really very, very little reason to think that.
Why? Because it's just the size of the slate.
It's a tiny little slate.
Yeah. Okay.
Get the right spots, you know. Get a 3-3-2 or 3-2-1-1 or something like that. Darnold to Arnold.
Hey, I like that.
There you go. Anytime
Darnold to Arnold. Darnold to Arnold, Manoah, and Bogdanovich. I love it.
It's not only Donald to Arnold. It's Donald to Dan Arnold. So it's Darnold to D Arnold. It's
Darnold to D Arnold.
There you go. There's a way to get.
I like it.
And by the way, Dan Arnold has, he gets some work. He had four catches last week. He had 4 targets, 3 catches for 55 yards. There's There's an upside. There's a chance that you can get in the end zone here.
Play Darnold. Darnold. I actually, if I'm not mistaken, what I have a Dan Arnold lineup.
Yeah, I think it makes some sense.
You want to know why? You know I have a Dan Arnold lineup because if I have 20x plus lineups with McCaffrey at the captain, like they got to be shuffled somewhere, you know. So I do have a Dan Arnold.
Yeah, I think it's too insane to captain Hubbard. But you can go ahead and do it in a long shot. I just would expect that to win $0, and I would
That's
even so. Even if he falls into the end zone twice and they blow him out, that means he'll still only have what? Let's say 2 touchdowns he gets. We're giving him that'll probably put him at what 60% of the production of McCaffrey at his absolute best. That doesn't seem like an optimal thing for me. I would rather play Jeff Driscoll. I mean, he has multiple routes, right? Obviously, every quarterback can get hurt. Davis Mills could be absolutely terrible. And actually, there's no reason why it couldn't go that way. I could see that. I could really see that one. I'm currently sided with a lot of Mills lineups, but I could definitely see that. I think Philip Lindsay is going to be lower owned than he's projected. And I really like the idea of using him.
Yeah, why is Philip Lindsay not like getting more, I don't know, like more featured action? I thought he was good.
He's talented. They've got he's not an every down back. Weighs like 110 pounds. He's the scariest guy you've ever seen, but he's a big play threat. And I think that if I were them, I would be seeing what we had with him and try to figure out while they're trying to figure out how to build their future, give him some love. So I kind of, I'm in on that.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to do it just for one of my $15, just because it's for $1 million. And
what, a Driscoll?
A Driscoll. I got to try to. He has to get in before the 4. I mean, it's interesting because he still has to produce too. Like, so I can just.
Well, that's what made that Mariota thing such an incredible parlay.
It wasn't a good play. I'm never going to owe the guy $100,000 that night. It was the dumbest thing because he captained him. And even still, it took like every last minute. He had to put up 35 fantasy points in a half. Like, that's hard to do, man.
Let me see. What if I did?
Yeah, McCaffrey, the Panthers defense, and then all of the Driscoll to Cooks to Conley. You know what I mean? Just get everything in there. I'm actually really I'm kind of excited. That'll be watch that. It won't win, but it's gonna happen tonight somehow. You're gonna see Driscoll come out there.
Team stats.
Yeah, I like that. That's what my thoughts are on Lindsay as well. The game script could fit him. David Johnson, I mean, is like the best catching back of all time, not named McCaffrey. He was like a stud, basically wide receiver 3/RB1 when he was at his best, but he's just not the same guy anymore.
Yeah. Let me just see. I want to also. What would it look like?
Dinner's ready whenever you want.
Oh, okay. This. Yeah. No good. All right. So.
Are we worried about last thing before baseball? Like, how worried? I mean, there's just a little bit of concern with the weather and the fact that, like, I'm, on DraftKings that Nola's my only pitcher that I've locked. Well, actually, he and Castillo I both locked in. But is there any, maybe you can argue because of the worry that it's okay to try and fade him? Because I'm actually playing McCullers in my main lineup, and it's just to try and get different on FanDuel. I don't agree with it. There's no, they could be the same price. I think that Nola's the better play. But I think that you just, trying to get different on these tiny little slates is a good way to go. And one thing McCullers has been, at least recently, is consistent. And he has a really, really soft matchup against an Angels team. He just put up 46 DK points, FanDuel points against the other day. But, man, yeah, I'm just trying to come up with reasons to try and fade what's going to be a 90+% own.
Nola, you mean?
Yeah. It probably won't be 90, but it'll probably be 85.
It'll be 75 at least. No, it'll be 70. I think it'll be 75. I think McCullers will and who's the other guy? I forget. Castillo. Those are good pitchers. You know what I mean? I don't think Noel will get 75%.
Why would anybody play McCullers except for to get off the board?
I don't know.
He's not as good as either of these guys. He's got a worse, well, he pitches in the American League. It's already worse.
Yeah.
I guess he's got an easier matchup in some ways than Castillo. But I don't know. To me, if you're playing McCullers, and I am that guy. Look, I'm playing him on FanDuel. But I'm doing it specifically to try to force in a different build. And I feel like even if he ties Nola in fantasy points or whatever tonight, I'm fine with that. Like at paying more because it got my build.
Check out this chalk screen share. Like this is my FanDuel like screen share. Look at it. This is like Nola. If you look at the left column, you see Nola and McCaffrey. You know what I mean? This is like
Oh, there's a Darnold. I saw a Darnold in there.
Yep, there it is. There's a Darnold. There's a Darnold.
There's no Driscoll, I noticed.
No, there is no Driscoll.
It's weird. I keep building different lineups. And
Whoa! Look at this hair. This Robbie Anderson hair.
Yeah, he's always had wild hair.
In this picture. All right. Mrs. Sheets is announcing there's dinner. And, there it is, by the way. Arnold and Darnold right here on FanDuel as well.
Boom. All right, well, enjoy dinner.
Good luck, everybody. And wait, are you going to be around? Are you going to we fire this up for the football with Rhodey or no?
Yeah, I'll start it up in a little bit. So if you shut this one down.
All right, sounds good. Good luck, everybody.
All right, good luck.